speaking on Retrospect. I probably shouldn't have done that. Let's welcome Burton French.
All right, Burton.
Well, it's all because I grew up in small-town Texas. You adopt a certain way of life. Football on Friday, church on Sunday, the way God intended it. That's right, it's in the Bible, in the book of First Down. And my church, the First United Blessed Apostles of Righteousness, we knew if the football team lost on Friday, we were going to hell on Sunday. I tried to be a good church member when I found out that not everyone wanted to be called the First United Blessed Apostles of Righteousness. I had an idea. What if we change our name to the Sainted Noble Apostles Fellowship United, and then a big fight broke out over whether we wanted to be FUBAR or snafu. I thought that maybe joining Toastmasters would help, but apparently my pastor didn't like it when I told him that his sermon on the Beatitudes had 15 ums, 5 sentence changes, 2 you-knows, and he didn't even use the word of the day. Well, I offered to make it up to him. I would use my Toastmaster skills, and I'd speak to the congregation right before we gave the offering. You know, pry a few wallets loose. I had a brilliant idea that I probably should have thought about more, because I had the idea, well, God the Father sounds a lot like Godfather. So I told the congregation that they better put in their protection money, because I'm not saying God's going to smite anybody. I'm just saying sometimes people get smited. Now, despite the fact that I did double offerings that week, I was kind of on thin ice. I needed to make it up to them. Then I realized something. Christmas was right around the corner. So I was going to give them the best nativity they'd ever seen. So I put it right in the center of town on the courthouse lawn. And I realized that my attitude of permits, schmermits probably wasn't a good idea, nor was taking all those mannequins from the local mall. I thought I was borrowing. They consider it grand theft. I was going to give them back. They probably don't want them now. To begin with, I wanted to remind everyone about the true reason for the season. So I had the 3 wise men beating up Santa Claus. I probably shouldn't have given Balthazar those brass knuckles. And the sight of Rudolph in a wood chipper, I admit, was in bad taste. And when some kids saw the Easter Bunny's head on a pike, maybe they needed new pants. Except for that one kid who just wanted candy, but he has his own issues. You have to admit, though, that my animals were great. Well, except all I could get were cows. I mean, if it's in Texas, cows are everywhere. And what is rustling, really? I learned a lot about cows. Lesson 1, they don't like being dressed up as sheep. But I had the Holy Family there. Mary and Joseph looking adoringly at the baby Jesus, and I wanted everyone to hear the baby's cries. Although, in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have hooked him up to that giant subwoofer. I thought it was a joyful noise that set off car alarms in a 3-block radius. Oh, lesson number 2, cows spook easily from loud noises. Lesson 3, they can make a lot of manure on short notice. But at least they didn't stampede. Next up, I premiered the Angels. Being so close to New Year's, I had access to a lot of fireworks. So I strapped some M5000 rockets to my Angels, lit the fuse, and watched them go up, and boom! That made the cows stampede. But really, let he who has not caused a 12-car pilot from a herd of stampeding cattle cast the first stone. But hey, the police were arriving, people were getting out of their cars, I had more of an audience. How's that for marketing? So I knew this would be the perfect time to fire up my industrial strength Star of Bethlehem, powered by 3 dozen strobe lights, and next time I'll take those seizure warnings seriously. But hey, the EMS was there, and some reporters were showing up, and I had the biggest crowd I could get. This was going to work. I was so excited when I premiered my piece de resistance, The Shepherds, burning the innkeeper in effigy. That'll teach you not to have any room at the inn. Although, who knew that hay was so flammable? I mean, but it wasn't a small fire. It was just a small fire until it hit the layer of fresh manure. And maybe I shouldn't have put it so close to the courthouse. Look, I realize that I did burn down a 150-year-old historical building, but I was just trying to help my church out and make Christmas memorable, and that, Your Honor, is exactly what happened. Madam Toastmaster.